Hi, this is Cheyenne. Welcome to Mermaid Reviews. As you guys might have noticed, the setting's a little bit differently. My last two videos was actually filmed inside of my living room, and right now we're actually in my bedroom. What you're seeing right here is actually my dresser. But, so again, the setting's a little bit different. Also, I am filming at a different time. Normally, I film on a Saturday between 8 and 10 p.m. Because it's a little bit quieter. My grandmother usually is not home during that time, and it's easier for me to do all of my filming. But today I am actually filming on a Friday, and it's noon. So it's a little bit different, it's a different setting. So I do apologize for any outside noises that you might hear. You also might hear my dog, his little bell that's around his neck, which I hope, right now he's sleeping, so I hope he stays asleep throughout the whole entire time. But the reason that I'm choosing to film today, the reason why I'm filming at this time actually, and the reason why my face looks the way it does is because I'm actually leaving to go to Puerto Rico for 2 weeks to see some family members later on today. So my flight is actually in 8 hours, I think. Probably even later than that. To recapture what we did last week I did a book review on this book right here. It's called Endgame's The Calling by James Frey. I also gave it out of clams. I gave it 5 clams. It happens to be one of my favorite books. It also happens to be hands down one of the books that I think is the most original, is unique. I recommend everybody to read it. I have yet to meet anybody who has read the book. But I do know these are really, really nice. Barnes & Noble's even had a limited edition of them, of where James Frey himself had actually signed them, and I was lucky to be one of the people who bought the signed book. It has to take place about aliens and trials that these 12 group of people have to go through. In my last video, I also described how much the book costed me, about the authors, about the book. I really went into depth on how the chapters are created, how the whole chapters are set up. So if you want to take a look at that video, the link will be down below. Please click it, please subscribe it, and please tell me what you think about it. Also, if you've read the book, please comment on that video so I can know and we can actually discuss. If you are giving it high ranks, sorry, my dog just woke up. If you're giving it high ranks, if you took my recommendation and decided to read it, and you loved it, please let me know. I want as much feedback as I could possibly get. Today, I'm going to be recommending a new book. This book is something I actually got from the library. I actually had to buy this book from the library because, one, I was late, and 2, I actually like the book a lot. So, the name of the book is called The Space Between. It's by Brenna Yovanoff. Sorry, I totally butchered her name. I'm so sorry. But her name is Brenna Yovanoff. It's about a daughter. She's the daughter of the devil and Eve from Adam and Eve. She's been living in hell for all of her life. And she was actually given, I think she either snuck out or given permission to go into the human world. She went inside the human world. She met a male human and she completely fell in love with him, and there's this big huge thing of her trying to live in the human world, but her father doesn't want her to because she's half demon and she's not allowed to. So it's a big huge thing on her just trying to get with her love. I give it like a 3.5. Let's say a 3.5. The reason why I give it a 3.5 is because it's interesting on how she plays it. So it's like she gives you basically a lot of information on how Eve and Adam got together and how the devil took Eve away from her and how she was born and so on and so forth. It gives you, like, she mentions a lot of demons. She mentions on how demons, what happens when people come to hell, like when mortals die and they done bad deeds, and like God, completely condemn them. How they look, how are they treated, she goes to this big huge thing, and like hell is a whole nother world. It's like a town, like a city basically, and she goes into depth about it. So this book is very interesting. I personally liked it. I didn't buy it. Well, yes, I did buy it. I bought it. It didn't cost me much, which, as you guys would know from my previous video, I do not like to spend a lot of money on books. If I do spend a lot of money on books, it's because it's been highly recommended by someone or the reviews were absolutely astonishing. That's the only way I'll purchase something that's more than $10. Because if a book costs me more than $10, it's a high chance I'm not going to buy it. But now I'm actually going to describe the book to you. I'm going to just tell you where the blurb is, where the reviews are, and how the first couple pages are. The reason why I do this is because it's a big, huge deal to me on how books are set up. Because when you first open a book, you know, there's a lot of trying to grab that reader and try to get that reader to read. And the first couple pages are super crucial because if it looks boring or if you just have a lot of like the first couple pages, like the title is mentioned more than twice or something and so forth, the high chance the person is going to put the book down. Also, the first chapter is also really crucial. I'm a type of person, before I make a decision whether I'm going to read the book, I read the first chapter. If the first chapter does not intrigue me, I don't pick it up. So there's some people who will read the first 2 chapters. I'm the first chapter. The first chapter is crucial. The first chapter should be your best chapter. If you are a writer and you're writing a book, I don't care if you feel the second chapter is the best. Then you make that second chapter the first chapter. I really like books with the plastic on it. I end up taking them off a little bit, but for this one I didn't because it's kind of taped. So this is the front. She's a New York Times best-selling author because of the book cover book replacement, which she has in the back here. This is also stating that this book is a New York State Library book, but I bought it, so it's no longer that. I just can't take it off now, though. So anyways, so this is the cover, her name. It also has a lot of filigree, and the filigree you can actually touch and you can feel it, but with the plastic it's kind of hard to really feel it with the plastic because it's like, yeah. The back doesn't have a blurb. A lot of books with these types of like plastic filigree or like set up like this or hardcover books more or less will not have a blurb on the back because they'll have it inside on this section here. Now, if it's a paperback book, then the paperback books will have the blurb on the back. For what it seems like today, even though a lot of authors are moving away from books and going more into like Nooks and e-readers and all of that, they more or less choose these because it's easier because they put their reviews on the back of these books like this author did. Her publishing company decided to put the reviews on the back. She got reviews from Lauren Kate, who's also a New York Times best-selling author of Fallen Novels, Booklist, BCCB, Kirkus Reviews, and Publishers Weekly. So she put all of these are probably her higher-ranking reviews, which is actually a really smart idea because you want people to read it. Kirkus Reviews said it's a fast-paced, dark delicacy. Publishers Weekly said this book has the making of a success. So it's pretty out there. So once you open the book, this is going to be the blurb right here. It's pretty long, but I've seen longer blurbs before. So that's that. Then she has this empty page. Then she goes in with her book title and her name. So she has a dedication. Doesn't say dedication. And it's quite small too. So she says she dedicates all this book to all of her family members. It's pretty weird to see something like that. Normally it'll say dedication. Normally dedications are longer. I've never seen a dedication where it's on this side of on this page alongside with this. This is something new to me. If I were her, I wouldn't have liked that. I would have told my publishers or my publisher and my editor to change it. Like, I don't like that. I don't know why she made that decision. Then she decided, whomever, decided to put the title of the book again, which, again, I'm like, you don't need it twice. Once should be enough. And then she jumps into the book with a prologue. I wasn't really too happy about how the book started. I didn't like the first couple pages. It's not like how Endgame was. Endgame's first couple pages is a little bit different. I went into detail about that in my video from last Sunday. This book is what I more mainly see for when it's the first couple pages, but that's just me. I'm just one of those people who is really big, huge thing about first couple pages. In the back of the book, it has a little bit something of her. You see her picture there. It's an about me. Most hardcover books like these will have, you know, about the author, get to know the author kind of things. I actually really like those. It gives you a sense of who the person is. It gets to, you know, more or less. I like them when they have pictures because I want to see who this person looks like. I want to see who the author looks like. And I like those because most of the time in their about me's, they will put down like what school they went to or what other books have they written and whatever reviews that they've gotten. So I like it. Now, unlike Endgame where like each chapter is a little bit different of different characters, this is going to be in the same perspective of the main character. Her name is Daphne. So the whole entire book is going to be in just talk about Daphne. It's third person, so it's not in her perspective. I'm more of a person, I won't say hate because hate's a very strong word, but I am not a fan of first person books. The only book that I've liked that's been in first person, that's been like in these kind of like fantasy, futuristic kind of genres will have to be Hunger Games because I like the way that it was in first person, but you always still had like some sort of like look into the other characters, you know, thoughts and feelings. But I'm not a big, huge fan of first person. I'm more of a third person type of person. Yeah, so I'm more of that type of reader where I have to have it in third person. I know people who don't like books in third person that prefer in first because you get to know the character a little bit more. I'm more of a, I like to know not just the main character, but the supporting characters, because supporting characters are just as important as the main. The main character just happens to be where the book is mainly about, but supporting characters help with the book as well. So I do prefer third person, and if it is in a first person kind of sense, then I want it to be like Endgame, where Endgame it kind of teeter-totters between first person and second person, I mean first person and third person. They go in, both authors go in and out with that. And I like that in each chapter you get to see the point of view of the characters, or you get to see how other characters are responding to whatever is going on, which is what I personally prefer. And not a lot of people do. I'm also going to start doing in my videos, I'm going to tell you guys prices, and I'm also going to tell you guys where you can find it for a little bit more cheaper. If there's anybody out there who's like me, I am a very big, huge saver. I like to save money. If I can save money on breathing air, I will find a way for me to save money on breathing air. For the space between, I found this. When I bought it from the library, they charged me $10, but I recently did a couple reviews, and I also Googled it a little bit more. But I found this book at Barnes & Noble's. It's on Barnes & Noble for $7.56. It's the paperback version though. So if you want the paperback version, you can get this at Barnes & Noble's. I highly doubt you're going to find it inside of the stores because it's an old book. This book has been out for maybe a couple years. So Barnes & Noble's more or less won't be carrying it. But you can go on barnesandnobles.com and purchase this book. It's $7.56. That's not counting tax. With tax, more or less, is going to be close to $10 to what I basically paid. But you can also get this same book at thriftbooks.com. I'll put the link below so you guys can know what website I'm talking about. Thriftbooks.com, they have this for $3.79. Thriftbooks also sometimes will give you free shipping if you have, I think it's more than $10, or if you buy more than 4 books, Thriftbooks will give you free shipping. I highly recommend Thrift Books. I'm a really big, huge Thrift Books fan. I purchase majority of my books from them, so I do highly recommend them. So you can purchase this book, Barnes & Noble, $7.56. Thrift Books, you can get this for $3.79. So it's easier for you guys to know where you can purchase these books. I am from New York State, so my library carries these books still. If you are going to a library and you want to get this book, this is where you're going to find it at. It's a, oh snap, can you not see it? There you go. This is a young adults book. So you will have to go to the young adults section and see if they have it. We can also go up to the receptionist desk and ask them for this. They more or less will have it. They'll probably tell you, redirect you to another area. Again, this book has been out for a couple years, so I highly doubt the library will still have them anyway. Oh, I didn't rate it. That's what I didn't do. Out of 5 clams, I give this book a 3. It gets 3 clams. The reason why I give it 3 clams is because although it's a nice book, I do recommend people to read it, but it's not something I highly recommend. Again, it's not really original. She's taking something that's been done before, which is Daughter of a Devil, Fall in Love with Human. But what she's doing differently is the scenario that they're in and the story behind who the main character Daphne is and who Truman, which is the guy she falls in love with, is. That's the only difference. So I recommend it, but I don't highly recommend it. Endgames, on the other hand, I highly recommend. I'm going to upload this video today. Usually my videos are not uploaded until Sundays, but today is going to be uploaded today, which is a Friday. I'm only doing this today because I'm not going to be able to do it on Sunday because, again, I won't be in town. More or less, I probably won't even be able to record for next week either. I'm going to try. I'm going to see if my aunt has Wi-Fi. So if she has Wi-Fi, I most definitely will make a book review. I'm actually taking a couple books with me. So I'm taking, I want to say like 4 books with me. I do read a lot, and I am a fast reader, so hence why I'm taking so many books. So this is Mermaid Reviews. I am Cheyenne. I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you guys have a wonderful summer. If you live in New York like me, the heat wave is real. I understand. So stay safe, stay warm, stay cool, and I hope you guys enjoy. I will try to upload again. And yeah, so bye.